Welcome everybody to another live edition from Inside Out. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of this epic podcast. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Well, as you guys can see in the title description of this video, we have a lot of information that I need to break down to you guys here tonight. And unfortunately, believe it or not, it's a true thing. It happens every day, daily inside of our prisons. And we're talking about the qualifications and whatnot regarding our medical staff. And I think the information that's going to be showing up on your screen here tonight, guys, is going to be very shocking to a lot of you. And it shouldn't come to no surprise. So I hope you guys are all doing good. Thank you guys so much for joining. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Without you guys, this podcast wouldn't exist. So I appreciate it. Real quick, I'm going to check the chat and see who's in here real quick. Looks like I got a few people in here already. Welcome, guys. Appreciate it. I'm hoping your guys' day is turning out awesome like mine is. I got a lot of things I want to try to break down and talk about before the end of the night. And I got 1 hour to do it. So give me 1 second here, guys. I got two devices going here at once. And I want to jump in here real quick and say welcome to everyone real quick. So just bear with me. Again, if you guys want to be a part of this show, the link's there. Hit it. Come on in. If you want to talk about this stuff, it's more than welcome. You're more than welcome to do so. But however, haters and trolls and whatnot are not all in here. So I'm going to make sure I screen whoever that is that wants to get in here before they do. But anyways, the option's there. That way you can't come at me later and say, you never gave me an option to have my voice heard. Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So there it is. So you guys, as you guys know, we are dealing with some medical issues that are going on inside of our prisons right now. And I think a lot of you will be quite surprised that it's not getting any better. It's not getting fixed. And you'll be amazed at how many people are aware of this. So we have a lot of issues, whatnot going on. So we're going to tear into the facts and whatnot when it comes to the medical neglect issues, the education level. And I mean that with all due respect too, by the way. I'm not knocking these medical staff, but we need seasoned medical personnel in there. The ones that are in there currently right now obviously are not very highly educated. And that's the topic tonight. We're going to break that down. But before I do, I want to let you guys know we have some major changes coming coming down the road, if you will, for this podcast. And we got Man's Night again for the second time now, rolling out right here Fridays of all Fridays. And I have a special guest. I can't tell you who it is or whatnot that's going to be involved with this. But believe it or not, I'm looking forward to it, and so is he. So Man's Night's going to be very interesting in itself. And I got a brand new background and all of that. Not background, I shouldn't say. I just got a brand new thing, if you will, rolling out for Man's Night. My good friend Redeeman. What's up, Redeeman? How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this podcast. If you can, please share it with your stuff that you belong to and get it out there. Welcome to the show. I'm going to go ahead and say, yep. How you doing, Redeeman? Yeah, and you're correct when you say or caring. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of that where it should be, but there is none. So yeah, I hear you there. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you also say, "Cool, will do." Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and get into the details and facts for tonight. The details are going to be right on front of your screen. Again, once I go to share screen, I'm basically running blind, but that's okay. That's how this thing's set up. It is what it is. So before we get into it, let me go ahead and get the share screen set up. I have the information and facts on the screen. Again, if you want to, say something negative regarding this data, take it out to the person that did this information. Don't take it out on me. This information is coming from the person I'm going to show you, and all credit goes to him. So let's go ahead and get that share screen going on right now, and let's get into the topic about the education when it comes to our medical staff in our prisons. Here it is. So bear with me. I got to set that up right now. And then, of course, you guys are going to see a little tripping out on the screen. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. It'll go away real quick. So here it is, guys. I hope you guys can see this on your screen. The title of this information you see here is "Prison Medical Staff Often Lack Qualification," and that's an understatement just in itself, ladies and gentlemen. And some of this information in here is going to be very telling, and I hope you guys like what you see here. But again, this was produced and put up here and all of that October 30th, 2021 by this guy here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but all credit and whatnot goes to this guy. But I want you guys to see this real quick. All right. And it's so fitting. Free citizens can pick their medical provider and choose good care, or at least not go back to a doctor they find incompetent, which is obviously happens in our prisons. Prisoners don't have that option, which that needs to change. It definitely needs to change by all levels, because it's not fair for them not be able to pick and choose their doctor or medical provider, but out here we can. I think it should be also in there. And if it can't be done, then I think the doctors should have a very, very high certain amount of education before they even get their ass put in prison and work inside of our prisons. And that's all the way up to the federal level too, by the way. So let's go ahead and move on some more here. As you guys can see, here's a picture of medical staff doing their thing. And again, this is just, a testament of what happens. These people here, obviously, we don't know their education level. We don't. But unfortunately, with proof, and keep in mind, I was in prison myself. I saw it firsthand, especially the nurses. The nurses have no clue whatsoever what they're doing. I'll get into that a little bit later here on this podcast. Federal and state prisons routinely hire unqualified, unlicensed, and even disgraced medical staff. And you can read more about that right there by clicking that. And that was reported July 1st, as you guys can see there. This is just, there's proof. I'm not making this up. You can go look it up yourself, do your own research, and see it for yourself. Redeeming gets in here and said, bear with me, aren't they supposed to do that hypocritical oath? Yeah, absolutely. Redeeming, correct. You would think. But again, you're reading it here firsthand that this stuff happens daily. All right. So there's that. Now, again, click this. When you guys go to this site, click that, and it'll give you more information that you're not seeing here. Since 1999, the nonprofit National Commission of Correctional Healthcare, that does exist, click it, there it is, has recommended that the credentials, that basically means they're, what kind of qualifications do these medical staff have? What's their background? What's their education level? So forth. Okay. Prison and medical care staff be the same as those working on the outside? Absolutely. I totally agree. Just because you're locked up doesn't mean you shouldn't have the same treatment of medical. We all have the same right for it. So what's your guys' take on that? Put your comments and whatnot into the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. This is just absolutely appalling. But again, it happens, and here's proof. So it says here, those in charge of the federal prison, again, it's not just federal, it's state and county level. So keep that in mind. Those in charge of the federal prison system's health services division during the COVID-19 emergency. We all remember that mess. That was I'm not even going to get into it. What a joke that was. Moving on. Didn't have any medical license, said union leaders, prison healthcare workers, and prisoner rights advocates. Surprised? I'm not. Again, proof's in the pudding. You can't make this shit up, even if I tried, or they tried. It is what it is. Critics argue that part of the reason that prisons weren't able to handle the coronavirus, which we all know that was a fucking, oh man, that was a mess. Absolute mess. I mean, that's a separate podcast just in itself later down the road if it comes down to it. COVID-19 was a joke. I'm not going to get into it with that. But anyways, pandemic properly is that states allow medical staffers in correctional facilities to work under restricted licenses due to past disciplinary issues. Shocking. Where do they find these quacks? You know what I'm saying? Where do they find these people? And of course, or my friend Redeeming gets in here and says, if only the disgraced medical staff actually got their acts together. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you, my friend Redeeming, for that. You're spot on. You know, and again, it just proves to you guys without any shadow of doubt what we're dealing with. This ain't my information either. This is the information on this post. Fire away. Be negative all you want, but the proof's right here, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on real quick, guys. And I'm going to make this as brief as possible because I want your guys' input. I want your guys' opinions on what you see here. Here's some more information. The lack of qualified staff would explain the 258 inmate deaths. Again, keep in mind, this number is way higher than it currently is right now. So again, what you see there, guys, is just when this was generated. The number is even higher. So it's way past 258. Okay. Inmate deaths and the nearly 50,000 COVID positive inmates as of late June, the report stated. Shocking, but not surprising. And we as American people, being that we're taxpayers and we pay into this garbage, there should be no excuse for this. This number shouldn't even be 258. It should be way less. That just goes to show you guys with proof that nobody gives a fuck. And as long as the taxpayers are going to continue to foot the bill, we're going to see this shit right here on tonight's podcast. And my good friend Redeeming gets in here and said, this is embarrassing. Absolutely. Sure the hell is. And we all taxpayers pay for it. So you and all the rest of the taxpayers, including me, got blood on our hands regarding this issue here tonight. Moving on. Politicians and union leaders criticize the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and you can click that too as well and read more data there. Lots of options here tonight, guys. Data, amazing data all over the place. Which failed to follow its own pandemic plan. Does that sound familiar? So they don't even follow their own procedures, but we're supposed to. But man, if we break the procedures, laws, regulations, rules, we get hemmed up for it. But oh my God, don't let any, staff worker that works inside prison break their policies. And don't expose it either. Because then if you do, then your locked up loved one will get retaliated against. There'll be all this other unnecessary bullshit. Like I say, laws for me, but not for thee. Absolutely. I'll read this again. Politicians and union leaders criticize the Federal Bureau of Prisons, which failed to follow its own pandemic plan by pressuring guards to work while sick and also by bullying knockoff 9-95 masks. Ta-da! Here's some more information, guys, real quick. States like California, Florida, where I'm at, Illinois, Kansas, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Texas, just to name a few, okay, have shown troubling hiring practices according to investigations and court records. And believe me, all you got to do is do a FOIA request, and you can look this shit up yourself. It's right there. Some state officials said they vented doctors on a case-by-case basis. Shocked? I'm not. And provide accurate care according to the Associated Press and the appeal. A few states said that they couldn't find enough doctors otherwise and couldn't complete with private practices salaries, according to the what is that? Oklahoman and prison legal news. Which again, I'm going to highlight that real quick, just so you guys know. Prison legal news. I have a highly grateful amount of respect for those guys over there. If you guys don't follow prison legal news, you want some information and lots of it when it comes to our prisons, go follow them. Go check them out. They got some great content in their magazine, in their little thing that they do over there. So awesome stuff. All credit goes to Prison Legal News. Much love and respect to you guys over there. Some more information. Andrew Armstrong is a law professor at Laurel University in New Orleans. You can look this up. And has studied prison medical care. Here we go. Pay attention. To people who are inside, it's not always clear what the credentials are of the person who is treating them. Surprised? Again, I'm not. That should be quite shocking to you and kind of upsetting, all rolled into one. But anyways, there it is. All right. So, and then it says, here's more information. They have a general sense that they are getting the people who can't get jobs anywhere else. Ta-da! There it is. I'll even highlight it just because. There it is. I'll let you guys ponder on that for a little bit. They have a general sense that they are getting the people who can't get jobs anywhere else. And let me go ahead and speak on that a little bit more. I said in past podcasts before, right here on my channel, that the nurses, not just the other medical staff, I'm talking nurses right now. The nurses are basically what we call interns. Yes, you heard that correctly. Interns, freshly right out of college. And they get the jobs in prisons because they can't really get any other jobs, because of their lack of experience and training. So they go into the prisons to do that in there to get the training and whatnot so they can change their career later down the road. Would you have an intern give out your meds or take care of you from a medical standpoint? Would you put your trust in an intern? I'm sorry, I sure the hell wouldn't. I would want somebody there that's seasoned, that has enough experience to know what the hell's going on. It's been proven and seen, and I've seen it when I was down, that these nurses that give out the meds have been seen giving out the wrong meds. Yeah, it's a mistake, but it's a very costly one, and people can lose their life over that if they're not getting the proper meds. So think about that. That's a big, highly mistake, big no-no. But that's the experience that I've been telling you guys about. And it's actually quite sad, to be honest with you. Anyways, moving on, guys, real quick. The author of the Marshall Project story, Carrie Bankster, said, when I was locked up in New York, here you go, there's the story, you can click it. A decade ago, our venting process came down to rumors and fear. Don't go to that doctor. He gropes people. Good Lord. One of my friends warned me that nurses only gives you medication if she likes you, said another. There you go. Oh, man, you guys. Never ending. Never ending. There were stories about women who had the wrong teeth. What the fuck? Removed or got the wrong medication, or one lady who was so constipated, she supposedly went septic and died. Holy crap. We usually didn't know if the rumors were true, but we knew they could be, and we made our healthcare decisions accordingly. So there's proof right there, ladies and gentlemen, that nothing gets done professionally. A major amount of lack of experience when it comes to this information that you're seeing here tonight regarding medical and the staff. There it is. Real quick, moving on real quick, guys. This is going to be a quick podcast, but nonetheless, quick is always good at sometimes. But anyways, here it is. Sometimes that meant we refused medical care or just didn't seek it out. During the pandemic, prisoners from New York to Texas, California told me they hid signs of illnesses or refused treatment because they didn't trust prison officials. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or medical staff. The suspicion is one reason some incarcerated people are still reluctant to get vaccinated. And I never did either. When COVID hit, I didn't take the goddamn thing. I don't believe in it. So there you guys go. And of course, on your screen, guys, there is obviously a buttload of more information that you see here. But keep in mind, this information is coming from the person that I'll show you again on the screen that uploaded this and broadcasted it. This is not my info. I'm just sharing info. But the facts are facts. Hype is hype. Again, when you know, you know. And here's the facts. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up a little bit more. You guys can click on any of this. Go over, I'll show you the site. I'll put the link to this in the description of video when this live's over, and go from there. But you guys can see it. There it is. Nazar was hired as a medical director in Georgia, even though he was still on probation in another state. That's shocking. And there's no excuse for this. Okay, there's no excuse. The state paid over $3 million to settle lawsuits. $3 million. Well, guess what? The taxpayers paid that $3 million, not the Georgia prison. Anyways, involving him and another doctor. Nazar was fired in 2015, and the state sanctioned him when his medical license expired. Ta-da! Reported the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So you guys can see there's case after case, there's proof after proof. What more do you need? And again, it just more information and whatnot right there in front of your eyes. All of this. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to read more and it's in detail, you can do so by going here. All right. And checking it out. Prison medical staff often lack qualification. The link to this page and all information regarding it is going to be in the description video here later tonight. I hope you guys really appreciate what I'm doing over here. So there you go. There you have it. And very, very telling information. And Redeeming, you're spot on everything. It is embarrassing. You're right. He also said this. If only the disgraced medical staff actually got their acts together. Don't we wish? Don't we wish? Absolutely. And it's a sad situation nonetheless. But we as a taxpayer, we as a society can do better. We deserve to do better nonetheless. And I'm just appalled and sickened over this shit. It's a farce. Absolutely. So if there's anybody else in here that wants to get in here and do this, let me know. Put your comments and whatnot in the chat. We're dealing with a lot of bullshit that doesn't need to be there. There's a lot of crap going down right now that doesn't need to be there. And what can we do about it? Well, I have solutions. Here's what we can do about it. We need to get rid of the interns and the unexperienced medical staff and hire people that have at least a few years, possibly 3 to 4 years experience doing what they do. I think that will cut down on a lot of the mistakes and neglect going on in there. But it can't, of course, it's all about the money, and the state wants to try to save money. So they're going to hire the cheapest people they can find, the people that don't have any experience and all of that, get them in there and take care of our locked up loved ones. It's bullshit. Absolutely nothing but bullshit. And if the state and federal want to save money, here's a piece of advice for you. Stop sending our tax dollars overseas and start using some of our tax dollars that we've already paid for anyways and put it into the system. We pay for everything. So why can't we pick and choose medical like we can out here? I mean, that's a fair statement, don't you think? Why can't we? What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. But you guys can see where the money's going. You can see that no one gives a shit, no one cares, and that's what we're dealing with every single day. All right, so it is. I've been in here for about a half hour already, and I don't know if there's a connection issue or whatnot because there's only one person in here, and that's shocking because believe it or not, there was supposed to be a lot more other people in here, and I'm just wondering if I'm having connection issues. I'm hoping not. Redeeming, are you still in here? Is the connection good on your end? Can you please tell me yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down? Let me know if you're still in here, Redeeming. But while I wait for his comment real quick, I wanted to show you guys a few things that are. Oh, Tammy's in here. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. How's the connection? Can you hear me? Okay, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, good. Thank you. I just want to make sure if there was a connection issue because it seems like there's only one person in here, and that's usually not how that works. It's odd to me. But anyways, share this with your groups and friends, Tammy, that you belong to, and we'll go from there. Welcome in. So tonight we're talking about medical issues. As you guys can see in the title description, it was, do medical staff have the qualifications to work in our prisons? And I already proved it here tonight up on the screen. And I'm going to say absolutely not. The nurses, and I saw this with my own eyes because I did time myself, guys. The medical staff, believe it or not, are basically interns, especially the nurses, freshly right out of college. And okay, that's cool. Thank you, Tammy. Much love and respect for you over there. Thank you. No problem. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that up there just so everybody knows that I'm not talking to anybody. But yeah, so that's good. And then she also said this: if I leave, it's because my hubby's calling. Absolutely, do your thing. No disrespect there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're obviously dealing with a major issue when it comes to our medical issues, and it's never going to get any better until we, the people, go down to our capital, go down to our governor's office, go down to all of these places where we're supposed to be, and bring light to this. We can't do anything just sitting on our asses. We need a major amount of changes. All right, that's just where it is. So tomorrow's Thursday. I don't think I have anything lined up for Thursday. All right. I don't have anything lined up for Thursday, but Friday, I have a special guest who I'm not going to mention here because I want it to be a surprise for all of you. I got some major things that are going to change when you see Man's Night for the second time now here on this program. Man's Night. Now, if you're wondering what that is, Man's Night is going to be where we just a bunch of men will get up in here and do what men do. And I think it's going to be fitting. We're going to be talking about the whole entire week's stories, whatever it may be, party crashers, if you get my drift. And we're going to do it sober. We're not going to be hyped up on cold medicine, caffeine, drugs, or any of that nature. We're going to be sober and we're going to keep things real and take the hype and throw it out the window, if you get my drift. No drama. We're going to keep it real over here. So with that said, let me go ahead and see what's in the chat real quick. Anything can happen, guys. It's live. It is what it is. So thank you guys so much for joining and being a part of this podcast. I got a lot going on, and man, there's a lot of things I want to share with you guys, but I can't. And I wanted to be a surprise. So if you want to know what kind of changes are coming up, tune in this Friday for Man's Night. I think it's going to be very, very epic and all of that. And here's the intro to Man's Night. Check it out. And I'm not going to share anything more. You're going to get the little intro, and then, if you want more, you're going to have to tune in. Here's that. Oh, I'm so excited for Man's Night coming up for the second prelude this coming Friday at 9 o'clock. You definitely don't want to miss Man's Night. And you're more than welcome, anybody, to get in here and crash the party. It's going to be interesting. I got some a special guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is. New changes for that show for Friday. So again, if you want to know what time that thing starts 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, and I think it's 7 o'clock Pacific. You don't want to miss it. So wherever you live in the country, make sure you got the notification bell turned on and you hit the sub button. That way you won't miss Man's Night coming up. So thank you, Redeemin. That's a nice thing for you to say. Appreciate it. Redeemin. Speaking of which, Redeemin, you can get in at Man's Night too if you want and get up on the show with the special guest. And we can talk about whatever's on your mind. I know you got a lot on your mind, and I know you, like me, your mindset's the same, and you want to see change within our system too. I like a lot of ideas that you're coming up with. So maybe we can work something out. We're talking in a more private situation, and you're invited. Nonetheless, you're invited for Man's Night. The link will be in the pinned chat, so anybody can join Man's Night. So that's going to be really, really cool. So I hope I see you on Friday, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, and I think it's either 7 or 8 o'clock Pacific. Make sure you guys check your times and whatnot. Tammy, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but if you have any questions about medical, go ahead and do that. Again, and if you're just tuning in, Tammy gets in here and says, I like to hear the man's perspective for sure. Absolutely. Again, just because it's Man's Night doesn't mean you can't join. It's very, very telling, and there's a major reason why I chose that topic or that new show rolling out Man's Night. Nonetheless, everybody's invited. No sexist bullshit here. So again, guys, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm going to go ahead and show on the screen again the medical issues. And again, if you want this information, here it is. I will put it up on the screen again, just for your guys' information, so you don't think I'm making anything up. This is true stuff. It's all here. Here it is. Go over here, okay, and check this out. The site is matter of fact, what I'm going to do, never mind. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it easy right now. Make it easy right now. I'm copied that. Excuse me, my bad. That's not what I wanted it to do. Sorry. Bear with me, guys. It won't let me copy it. Why is that? Uh-oh. It won't let me copy it. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Anyways, the information here is this thing was uploaded October 30th, 2021 by this gentleman here on the screen. You guys can see it right there. Again, if you want more information with this, there it is. I'll scroll slow so you guys can see all information regarding medical problems, medical neglect, etc., etc. There it is, guys, in its entirety. Okay. I see you, Tammy. Just give me a second. So again, I can't believe some of this information, but I'm not shocked or nor am I surprised. But here it is, guys. Go read this information. Tell me what you think and make your own goddamn judgment call. It is what it is. So, Journalism Guild, you can follow them. San Quentin News Journalist Guide, share them on Facebook, Twitter, and you can also email them there. There's all the info. Check it out. Do what you got to do. And, let them know Jay sent you over there. Anyways, there's that, guys. Hope you guys appreciate the information and data on the screen for tonight's video. Tammy gets in here and says, what? He was particularly begging the guards to treat various inmates for different, very critical conditions. I'm not surprised. Thank you so much for that information, Tammy. Of course, she said this too as well. My husband is by trade a surgical tech for over 20 years. Wow, that's awesome. Now, that's experience. That's not no rookie. That's experience. That's seasoned right there. And was a military cop and an EMT. So there you go. That's somebody we need right there in our prisons. Somebody that's got a lot more years, if you will, under their belt. Absolutely. That's where it needs to be. We need people like that right there on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. 20 plus years. There should be no excuse why there be mistakes. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Tammy, so much for that information. That's awesome. So does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns regarding this topic tonight? Let me know. Put it in the chat. If you guys want to get a hold of me on more personal note, you can do that. My email is in the ticker right there. Questions, comments, concern, contact us at voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. And I will do my best to get a hold of you. We got some major things coming down the pike, new merch coming down the road. I can't wait to share all this new stuff. And I'm doing it all by myself without help. Yay! I'm so excited to be back in control the way it was before all that mess got involved. A lot more or less stress. And I couldn't be more happy. So I'm glad I got rid of the garbage. And now we're doing bigger and better things over here. So thank you guys for that. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, this was a very short broadcast. This was basically spontaneous. I don't really try to plan podcasts anymore because every time I do, they never go the way I want them to. So they're going to be more spontaneous podcasts than there is going to be planned. So just a heads up with that. It looks like we only have a few people in here now. I don't know what's going on with the connection. I'm not sure why everybody can't watch or is in the chat. Don't know what's going on. But hey, these things happen. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it nonetheless. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna get in here real quick and let you guys all know that I appreciate every single one of you that follow this channel and show your love and respect here. I got a lot of big things coming down the road, and I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it. And I'll keep you guys updated with all the changes. And my friend Tammy gets in here and says this: inmates are not experiments. Absolutely. We're not lab rats. And that's what it looks like. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tammy, for that awesome comment. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and back out of here. This was a short podcast. I know some of you guys tuned in late. I gave out the info. Again, you want to see it, I will be putting the web page and whatnot in a description a little bit later here tonight. It wouldn't go in during the broadcast. I tried to put it in the chat, and it wouldn't work for me for whatever reason. So anyways, it is what it is. So with that said, I'm going to back out of here, guys. It's been a long day, a long week, but I'm looking forward to Man's Night, and I cannot wait for you guys to be part of that show. I really can't. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, Tammy gets in here. I have a great night. You too, Tammy. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. You are appreciated. And thanks for what you do over there too, by the way. You're doing a lot of things to try to bring change to the table. And I got a lot of respect for you on that. With that said, I don't think I have anything lined up for tomorrow. Just stay tuned for Man's Night coming up this Friday. With that said, I'm your host, Jay. I will see you guys in the next podcast. Good night, everybody.